Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. Today, I have a very special story for you. A story about a little girl who learned a big lesson. It's called The Child Who Found Courage. So, get comfortable, and let's begin. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, lived a girl named Lena. Lena was a sweet and clever girl, but she was also very, very shy. The thought of speaking in front of people made her heart beat like a drum and her tummy fill with butterflies. At school, she was like a little mouse, always staying quiet in her corner. Even when she knew the answers to the teacher's questions, she would keep them locked inside, too afraid to raise her hand and let her voice be heard. Her classmates would shout out their answers, but Lena would just sit silently, her knowledge a secret only she knew. One bright Monday morning, her teacher, Mrs. Davis, made an announcement that sent a shiver of fear down Lena's spine. "Class," she said with a warm smile, "this week, we're going to have a storytelling session. Each of you will get a chance to share a favorite tale with everyone." Lena hoped she would be last, or maybe even forgotten. But then, Mrs. Davis's eyes landed on her. "Lena," she said kindly, "I'd like you to start us off tomorrow. You'll be the first to tell a story to the class." Lena's world seemed to stop. The room felt suddenly very hot. All the other kids looked excited, but Lena felt a huge lump form in her throat. I can't do it," she whispered, so softly that only the girl sitting next to her could hear. The thought of all those eyes watching her, all those ears listening to her, was just too much to handle. She spent the rest of the day with a heavy cloud of worry hanging over her head. When Lena got home, she couldn't even enjoy her favorite after-school snack. Her mother noticed her long face and asked what was wrong. With tears welling up in her eyes, Lena told her about the storytelling assignment. "I'm too scared, Mommy," she sniffled. "Everyone will laugh at me." Her mother pulled her into a warm hug and said something Lena would never forget. "Oh, my sweet Lena," she said, stroking her hair gently. "Courage is not about being fearless. Nobody is fearless all the time. True courage is about trying, even when you're scared. It's about taking that first small step, even if your legs are trembling." Those words echoed in Lena's mind. She thought about her favorite superheroes in her comic books. They were always brave, but maybe they were scared sometimes, too. Maybe being brave just meant you didn't let the fear win. So, with a new, tiny spark of determination, Lena picked out her favorite storybook about a magical forest. That night, she practiced in her room. She read the story to her teddy bear, then to her reflection in the mirror. Her hand shook, and her voice wavered, but she kept going. She read it again and again, each time feeling a little less shaky, a little more familiar with the words. She imagined she was the brave adventurer in the story, facing down dragons and trolls. The next day at school, Lena's heart was still pounding when Mrs. Davis called her name. She walked to the front of the classroom, her storybook clutched tightly in her trembling hands. She took a deep breath, remembering her mother's words. She looked at her friends, who were all watching her with encouraging smiles. She started to speak. At first, her voice was just a soft whisper, barely audible. But then she thought about the brave adventurer in her tale. She pictured the magical forest and the talking animals. As she got deeper into the story, her voice grew stronger and more confident. She used different voices for the characters and moved her hands to describe the action. She forgot about being scared. She was no longer just Lena, the shy girl. She was a storyteller, painting a picture with her words for all her friends to see. When she finished the last sentence, the room was silent for a moment. Then, one person started clapping, and then another, until the whole class erupted in applause. Lena looked up, surprised. They weren't laughing at her. They were cheering for her. A huge, proud smile spread across her face. She had done it. She had faced her biggest fear and won. From that day on, something inside Lena had changed. She still felt a little flutter of nerves sometimes, but she knew she could handle it. She started raising her hand in class and sharing her ideas. She joined the school play and discovered she loved being on stage. Lena had found her voice, and more importantly, she had found her courage. She learned that the bravest people aren't the ones who are never afraid, but the ones who don't let fear stop them. And that's the moral of our story today. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the triumph over it. It's about trying, even when you're afraid, and discovering the amazing strength you have inside you all along. That was the child who found courage. I hope Lena's story inspires you to face your own fears, no matter how big or small they may seem. If you liked this story and want to hear more tales that inspire you to be brave and be yourself, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next story. Bye for now.